Welcome to this short video, which will be about homogeneous turbulence. I'm François Schmidt. I'm a research professor at CNRS, and this work is supported by the graduate school IFSI. So it's a graduate school for marine fisheries and seafood sciences. It is the fifth of a series of 7 video capsules about turbulence in marine sciences. So here I'm going to speak about homogeneous and isotropic turbulence. So homogeneous means that we have the same statistical properties in all points. Isotropy means that we have the same statistical properties in all directions, and we assume that we are in a situation of fully developed turbulence. So, in fact, turbulence is obeying Navier-Stokes equations, which are very complex and which are mathematically not solved. So it's a problem which is not easy in the field of statistical physics. And there are ways to simplify, in fact, the problem and to find some solution. And one of them is to consider homogeneous and isotropic turbulence. So we see here one example with a 3D snapshot of homogeneous turbulence. Here we are 2D snapshot. And the first one of the first results that have been obtained is Richardson cascade. So Richardson is a British meteorologist from the 20th century. Here we see one of his books, which is called Weather Prediction by Numerical Process. It was published in 1922. And the title is interesting because we can see that, in fact, his objective was to do numerical prediction from the Navier-Stokes equation before computer time. He proposed a forecast factory, so even before the invention of computers, where computing power is man-made. Here we're not speaking about this, but in fact there is one sentence in this book which became very famous. And it's copied here. So it's the last one in the extract, which is shown here. So it said, big words have little words that feed on their velocity, and little words have lesser words, and so on to viscosity. So in this sentence, in fact, he's explaining that, in fact, what was known later as the cascade of energy from large scale to small scale, and we have until the dissipation at small scale. This was mainly qualitative, and a bit later, so in 1941, a Russian mathematician, Kolmogorov, has published several papers where he's proposing quantitative relation. So his assumption is that the statistics of the velocity fluctuation depend only on the dissipation and on the scale. And so he proposed his relation, which is shown here, and indicating that the velocity fluctuation should be proportional to the dissipation to the power 1/3 times the scale to the power 1/3. So this relation is very famous. It's called K41, and it says, in fact, that the velocity fluctuation first depends on the scale. Then they say that if the dissipation is strong, then you have larger fluctuations of the velocity. And this 1/3 exponent also corresponds to a universal property of turbulence. So it's supposed to be obtained in every situation where you have homogeneous and isotropic turbulence. One of the consequences of Kolmogorov 41 is a relation which gives the smallest scale of turbulence, which is now called Kolmogorov scale, and it's estimated using this relation, where so it's nu cube divided by epsilon, everything to the power 1/4. Nu is the viscosity, so it depends on the fluid. Epsilon is the dissipation of kinetic energy, and it depends on the flow. In fact, this is a way to estimate the Kolmogorov scale, which is the smallest scale of turbulence, and it separates the viscous regime, where you have laminar flow, and the turbulence regime. And it's the order of 1 millimeter in the ocean and also in the atmosphere. So Kolmogorov's scale is separates turbulent and viscous flow. So under this scale, we have the viscous regime. Above this scale, we have the turbulence. And the order of magnitude, as I said, is millimeter. It depends, in fact, on the dissipation. So in the coastal area, you have strong dissipation. So in fact, the Kolmogorov scale will be smaller, so it's smaller than the millimeter, about 0.3, 0.2 millimeters. And in the deep ocean, the dissipation is less important, and then the Kolmogorov scale is larger. It's the order of centimeter. So to finish, in order to understand the Kolmogorov and Richardson-Kolmogorov energy cascade in one slide, you have this picture. Injection of energy, big eddies. Eddies are divided into small eddies, and you have the cascade of energy from large scale to small scale until the dissipation scale, where the eddies are dissipated into heat, and this happens below the Kolmogorov scale, whose value is given here. And also the typical velocity of an eddy of scale L is proportional to L to the power 1/3. So that's all for this topic. I thank you for your attention.